Big Z Reviews. Pet Sematary is the newest adaptation of a Stephen King book, and it is a book that has already been previously adapted to a pretty good movie, but I'd say this one is definitely the best of the two adaptations because I really enjoyed this.
The local tribes carved him before they fled. They feared that place. There's something up there. Something that dates way back. Those woods belong to something else.
So the whole idea of Pet Sematary has kind of seeped into our culture. So even if you have never seen any of the movies or read the book, you probably know what it's about. You know, that sometimes dead is better. And that, you know, that if you bury a pet or a human or something in this ancient Indian burial ground where the ground turned sour and the Indians left, that they'll come back, but they'll come back different, changed, not themselves, and chaos ensues. And, you know, so I'll try, even though that's kind of a lot of stuff is seeped into our collective unconsciousness, I'll try not to do like straight up spoilers for this movie because it does do different things, and I won't. Almost talking about it as a slight spoiler, but it's just that if you know the story, there are some things that happen, and this one says, well, we're going to do something slightly different there. We're going to do something very different there. Oh, you think we're going to do that, but we're going to do something else. And I really liked that it did that. It played on your expectations. But my favorite part of the film is just that from the opening scene to the very end, there's just such an extreme sense of dread permeating this whole film. And like, I don't know if you've seen my other horror films that have done a cold opening, which is actually like a flash forward to like the climax of the film, you know that I hate that. I hate when they do that, the cold opening flash forward, and then they go back to the beginning of the story. Because I always feel like it's kind of like you're spoiling the movie for me. But this one, how they did it, I loved it. Like you open up on like, it's like a drone shot or like a helicopter shot, and you see that a neighbor's house is on fire, and you go into the other house and you kind of zoom in, and you see that there's this car, and it has blood on the door of it. Then the camera follows to the house, and you see that there's bloody footsteps, and there are also these wet, muddy footprints, and then there's blood on the door. And then what happened? What's going on here? Then it stops, and you go to the beginning of the story with them moving into the house. And like from there, it's like it feels like this family is cursed. Like it's going to happen no matter what they do. Like it's going to happen. Like this power beyond the woods that brings things back to life has already grabbed a hold of them as soon as they moved into this house, and it's just waiting for the chance to fully take them in and do what it wants with them. Like especially I love that the camera work and the acting, but also like the use of sound. Like there's also like a lot of weird like noises in the background, and the thing to do with the sound and like the different things that I just really liked. It really set the tone for the film, and the tone was really creepy. Like this is honestly one of the scarier movies I've seen in a while. Like I don't get scared at all, and I don't really want scared that much in this, but it's like it kept with me more than a lot of films recently, a lot of horror films I've seen recently. And I really, that's what's horrible too, is that part of this is, a cat gets run over and they have to bury the cat and it comes back. That's the only thing I'll fully spoil, because everyone knows that. It's in all the trailers and everything. But I felt really bad when I was coming home the day after I saw this movie. There was a cat in the middle of the street and it looked like it was going to the other side of the road. And I didn't slow down that much. But then I was like, oh, don't do it, cat. There's a car coming the other direction. And the cat was like, oh, I better not go that way. I'm going to go back to where I came from. So I had to hit my brakes and swerve a little to avoid hitting the cat. And the cat looked a little like the cat from this movie. I was like, no, I don't want I don't want to do that. I don't want to kill a cat and create this whole thing that the movie just did. But I liked all the characters in this film too. Like Jason Clarke plays the dad, Amy Seimetz is the mom, and John Lithgow is the neighbor, and Jet Lawrence is Ellie, the daughter. And I think they have twins that play Gage. But everyone does really well, and I liked the cat was really great too. I think there are 4 different cats played the cats, and I thoroughly enjoyed that that how they interacted with each other, and especially the Jet Lawrence has, the directors, they really have a lot. They call on her to do a lot at certain points of this film, and I really like what she does with it. Like she can do a lot of things that I really liked, and I appreciated how they attacked this whole idea of this pet cemetery. That if especially with John Lithgow, if he knows that he did it with his animal and his animal came back changed and not normal, so why would he want to do it to this kid's cat? Well, I like that the idea that something about this power, once you're exposed to it, you want to try to use you come up with any reason you can as to why it might work this time and why you should do it. And I like things that they did with it, and I like that different from the other film, the original film. When things start to happen, it's like snowballs. It's the cat is takes part in the accident that comes later. It almost kind of initiates it. It's all coming from one action. It just it keeps coming and coming, and then because the dad was weak enough to let him bury it in this weird place, and then he wasn't strong enough to kill the cat when it showed that it was kind of odd, and that it's kind of his fault. Even though it's horrible, it's so dark and grim, and I really liked it. The only thing I will say is that it's a little goofy because I guess it being a modern horror film, they had to throw in the modern horror trope that just about every horror film uses, where the person goes on to Google, hey Google, can things come back to life? Oh, sometimes they can. Oh, it's times when they weren't actually dead. Okay, how about Google pet cemetery with incorrect spelling in my neighborhood? Oh, here's a newspaper clipping of a girl with cat mask. Interesting. I found those scenes so pretentious, so goofy. Okay, yes, we live in the modern world now, and you can Google everything, but it's just it gets a little annoying when every single movie has to use that trope. And then there's also the stuff that John Lithgow still plays his exposition dump role of telling the character about everything, but now he has a book that also explains everything, and I think it worked better in the original with him just being kind of seeped into the history of their kind of town and everything that happened, and that also I liked in the original where how he tells the story about how one person did try to bring back a human and it did not go well, and I liked that there's more with that character, I think. And also, I think that too, I would like more too with when the shit hits the fan and things start to go crazy. I think there was room for more creepiness, for more of a build up, because and that's the opposite of what the original film did. It was immediate insanity, a second the thing came back. But in this one, there's a little bit of build up. And I really like these scenes because they're incredibly creepy. And I think I would have liked a little more build-up before everything goes crazy. But that's just their personal opinion. But as a whole, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really loved the film. I'd probably give an 8.75 or a 9 out of 10. I love horror films. If you like horror films, I think you probably really like this. Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I liked a lot of the things they did with it. But thanks for watching. You should get the replay on my head and subscribe to me in that Z over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.